All right. Whew. Test. Let's see if this actually works. Get in it. Fuck it.
5-7 Harbor Park in Norfolk, Virginia for the second year in a row. Coming to one of the best areas for sports and entertainment in the United States is Banana Ball. The Fighters aiming to close out their spotlight run with a series win, but standing in their path is the team with the best record in Banana Land. The Party Animals back to get a very sour taste out of their mouths from their last outing as we set sail here in the city that calls itself the Neptune City. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Harbor Park here in Hampton Roads. I'm Zach Staten, your fireside chatter. It is as simple as it gets for both of these two teams coming into this game. The Firefighters and the Animals both coming off of weekends with razor-thin margins in their last times they played, and Val Perez's group getting an absolutely massive win in absolutely massive style in Salem, Virginia. We take you to the video now. It was Game 2 out in the Blue Ridge Mountains. They just dropped a game in 3 rounds of showdowns to the Texas Tailgaters when ultimately going into the bottom of the 9th inning in Salem. John Reed on the mound, 1-1 game. Fighters just trying to get something to go as they want to look for their first win since June 21st. Logan Lacey gets a golden batter opportunity, and he takes advantage of it in the biggest of ways. A ball four sprint, getting down to first base and giving an opportunity for the boys in the orange and black to get a moment, and then Noah Bridges capitalizes in a major way. Already 4 trick plays on the night. He goes to deep center field, 405 feet, 2-run blast. That's it. That's all. A fireworks show ending a crazy weekend at the Salem Fair. A 3-1 win for the Firefighters as Bridges throws his helmet into the Salem skies. Now, on the other side of tonight's game, the Party Animals coming off a weekend that was so devastating, trying to earn a split of their own in the Show Me State in Missouri. St. Louis, Game 2. Drew Gillespie is usually absolutely nails on the mound, but Dan Oberst having other ideas, sends this one to left center field. That's a stand-up double, and all of a sudden, Bananas have a chance to score with nobody out. Gillespie gets Kyle Jackson up to the plate, and KJ does his job, moving Oberst over to third with a line drive right back up the middle. But his night not done. On the very next at bat, Tyler Gillam's group gonna send KJ right back up with a golden batter, but he doesn't even get a chance to really swing the ball or swing the bat because Gillespie throwing to third, but it gets by. Oberst coming home, and in crushing fashion, the Party Animals losing 3-2, dropping back-to-back games by a combined total of 3 points. And so both these teams coming into this affair with absolutely no margin for error in their last couple of games, and that means that closing pitching is going to be absolutely massive here in this one. We start with the Firefighters. Johnny Hummel, they don't call him the Lightning from Lexington from nothing, closed out the first win of the Firefighter season. We'll hear from Johnny tonight when he takes the mound a little later. And Ben Dumm is the fastest pitcher in all of Banana Ball. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. That is the fastest time of any pitcher who has pitched 10 or more innings. On the other side, Brady Keiss and Drew Gillespie. We just talked about Gillespie. When he gets on the mound, he does not give up runs very much. 49 points earned when he comes in, 17 saves, 26 strikeouts. Brady Keiss, as solid as they come as well. 5 wins already in his appearances this year, 17 strikeouts. This is a matchup to watch out for tonight. Again, we'll hear from Johnny Hummel. It'll be interesting to see how the Firefighters have their final headlining game, final time where they are the closing team. They have the best pitching staff in all of Banana Ball. We see if that helps them in any kind of way close out a win, a series win over the Party Animals. They have not won a series so far this year, trying to do that on the final stop of their Spotlight Tour. We are meeting the cast and crew here at Harbor Park. Bo the Beaver's out there. Chief the dog is on someone's back. We are prepared to go. He is an absolutely tremendous dog. It is a breezy night here in Norfolk, as my notes can attest to you here in Harbor Park. But we're ready to go. The teams are ready to go, but we got to get the fans in Harbor Park ready to go. It's a sold-out crowd in Norfolk. Let's send it down to our athletic fan hype intro.
You, the fans, to get ready. So we need everybody on your feet. Everybody on your feet, and help me welcome out to the field. She is 7 years old. Help me welcome Avery.
Little kid.
Hello, Avery. Are you ready to dance for everybody here?
Yeah.
All right, so this is what's going to happen, all right? Whatever dance moves you do, everyone here in Harbor Park is going to have to do. Are you up for the challenge?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's get some dance moves going. All right. There we go. Uh-oh. Looks like we're getting down a little bit. We're a little athletic here with the firefighters, and now we're stretching. There we go. Here we go, Avery. All right. We're raising the roof. This ballpark doesn't have a roof, but we're raising the roof. All right. Oh, this is a special one. There we go. All right, Avery. Scary feet, scary feet, scary feet. All right. Touching our toes. Wow. There we go. All right, jumping jacks. Avery. Here we go. All right. We're clapping it out, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for tonight's fan warm-up, Avery.
A tremendous job by Avery getting all the fans here at Harbor Park warmed up, and now it is time. You hear the bells ringing. It's Joe Lytle. Give them your voices, folks.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and firefighter enthusiasts from around the world, tonight, you and thousands of your friends here live, and millions more still watching at home, have gathered here today to witness something beyond your wildest imaginations. From Timbuktu to Kalamazoo, from the Isle of Man to Tokyo, Japan, the firefighter maniacs come from across the globe to witness This is not baseball. This is the firehouse, where the hottest, hungriest, and most heroic players are forged. This is a game of the fans, by the fans, and for the fans. But this is not your granddad's pastime. This is not just another night at the ballpark. This game is baseball by birth, fruit by name, and an absolute worldwide phenomenon by the grace of God. Tonight is the time for all 12,000 people here in Norfolk, Virginia, to get on your feet and give me your voices. Because this is the hottest show in sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Banana Ball!
And now, the starting lineup for your firefighters. Leading off, ranging left field, number 19, South Tremble. Batting second, behind the plate, number 3, Dalton Cornett. In the 3-hole, manning the hot corner, number 11, Logan Showtime Lacey. The cleanup hitters, number 24, Dakota D-Mac McFadden. In the 5-hole, the fiery from down under, number 15, Liam Spence. Batting 6, number 911, Joe Lytle. In the 7th slot, manning station 1, number 8, Stephen Cullen. In the 8th hole, the hot shot at shortstop, number 10, Caden Peanut Green. Batting 9th, number 7, Mason Maxwell. And the decky, number 9, Noah Bridges.
tonight's starting pitcher, number 42, Bradford Webb. The firefighters are led by Battalion Chief Val Perez, Captain Corey Pye, and Lieutenant Drew Iniesta.
We now know who is playing the game. Now let's find out how they played the game with Virtual Jesse.
Uh-oh. Skip this part.
No new inning.
And the home of the brave. Thank you very much, David Johnson.
Fuego. That's funny.
We're going Fuego and Fuego here in Norfolk, Virginia. Just about set to get things going here in Banana Ball in the 7-5-7. Let's take you through the lineups. First, the starting defense for the Firefighters, led by a dynamic duo in between shortstop and third base. Logan Lacey, Caden Green, 27 trick plays in between the two. Noah Bridges seems to be finding his groove again. Remember, coming back off the broken leg last year, he's got 10 trick plays, 4 of them coming last weekend in Salem just on Saturday alone. Noah Bridges seems to finally have found himself a little bit of a groove. He'll have something to cook up there in center field. Again, we'll be talking to him in the top part of the second inning, and Stephen Cullen at first base. It's a tricky kind of first base kind of guy, so we'll see how good he can do as we start getting ready to go here in the 7-5-7. Our starting pitcher will be Bradford Webb. Played his college baseball final year at VCU as he leads the circle here just before we get underway. You look at his numbers here, Bradford making his first start back on, or excuse me, his second start back here on the Commonwealth Tour. He started things off a little bit on the wrong foot, had to go through an injury fighting through in Richmond, but then came back in Salem, gave up just 1 run in a couple innings of work. There you see his numbers there. Would like to get his minutes per inning down, he's told me a couple times, but you look at the numbers, 7 Ks, he's starting to really like that and feel himself a little bit better out on the mound. We'll see if he can get something going here on a nice night in the 7-5-7. Now, to the batting order for a dangerous, and I do mean dangerous, Party Animal team. If you've watched Banana Ball throughout the year, they are 32-20, and they are that way for a reason. An absolutely torrent group gets an absolutely torrent player back. Reese Hampton leading things off, Noah Fisher, but there you see highlighted in pink is Jake Skoll, back after celebrating the birth of his first son, Jet Michael, with his wife Avery. Missed last weekend in St. Louis, making sure that wife and son were doing all right. Wife and son are doing great. He told me a little bit earlier today. Jet is starting to grow a little bit more. It came a little bit sooner than expected, but Jake is happy to be back, and I think he's going to have some dad strength here tonight. We'll see if his batting average goes up now that he knows he's a father. Before we get things going, we got to start the clock, and in Firefighter Nation, we don't start the clock, we ring the bell, and the perfect guy to do that is our fire marshal, Marshall Schill, and he's ready to do it right now.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so normally in Banana Land, we say start the clock to get this game going. But today at the Firehouse, we are gonna say ring the bell. So I wanna hear you nice and loud when I count down from 9-1-1. And I want all of you to say ring the bell. So 9-1-1.
Oh, that's cool.
The bell's rung. Here we go.
It's different.
Reese Hampton will get things going here to start us off at the top of the order for a Party Animal squad that just puts up numbers. He comes in over 300 on the average, and you know he's feeling a little bit from last week in St. Louis. Had an inning where the trick plays were not going his way, missed 3 in a crucial inning in game 1. So you know he's ready to to get himself back up and going here in Harbor Park. 12th round pick of the Tigers back in 2018. Played for the Bananas in 2022 on the initial tour before going party animal style in 2023. And also he became a married man in May. We got a couple of those guys throughout Banana Ball as Hampton screams one down that first base line, ultimately going foul.
Ninja ref.
There's a couple of milestone monument moments here for a couple Banana Ball players. Isaac Parra had his second child last month. Jake Skoll and his wife celebrating the arrival of their first son. And Reese Hampton getting married in May. We're all just celebrating good times together here in Banana Land. Swing and a miss, and Bradford Webb is off to a good start. The salute on the mound as B. Webb gets on the board with the K, getting Reese Hampton to swing away. Again, this lineup does not get any easier from top to bottom. Up next is Noah Fisher. Out of Michigan, 263 average coming into the game. Played 5 seasons at North Kentucky. Second year of Banana Ball here. Fisher sends that one out to Bridges. Might have misplayed it for a moment, but he skies on back in, gets to that one before it gets to the track, and Bridges puts it away and gives us a little sprinkler action out in center field. And now here comes the man who is probably the biggest front runner for Banana Ball MVP this season. His name is Jake Skoll, and if you haven't seen him, folks, you are in for a doozy. The man that wears the X, 401 average, 77 hits on the year, and he brings runs in at a rapid rate, 57 on the season. He is about as good of a ball player as you're going to find. They felt his presence missed last weekend in St. Louis. Even though the Party Animals were quite competitive, he just adds a certain level of danger, just adds a certain level of poise, and just adds a certain level of pop that you cannot replace when he's not in the lineup. Skoll, of course, know his story well if you're in Banana Land. Former first-round pick of the Texas Rangers back in 2010, the 15th overall pick. Decided to switch from minor league ball to walk on at Georgia, where he played football 2017 to 2019, and now comes into Banana Ball leading in home runs, batting average, OPS, runs created, and he goes right back up the middle. And if you didn't see last week, you wouldn't have known he missed anything, as he puts one right back up the middle and gets over to first base. So far, the dad average, so far he's batting 1,000. We say hello to the Love Island man. Andy Cosgrove comes back up. Another man over 300, near 350 batting average, 58 hits on the year as Cosgrove cuts one into right field. That's danger. Mason Maxwell giving it chase back to the track. Skoll is on his horse, getting the wave around from Mike Vivesa. Liam Spence won't even throw it. Mike Vivesa, excuse me, gave him the wave around, and Jake Skoll forms the X as he comes in to score the first run of the game. And we're party rocking here in Hampton Roads. Cosgrove batting in his 53rd RBI this season. And if you look at his stats, if he wasn't on the same team as Jake Skoll, man, he would be looked at as one of the best hitters in all of Banana Ball as well. But this is why it gets so dangerous here when you face the Animals. And up next is not much of an easier target here for Bradford Webb as Jason Swan comes up to the dish. College teammate of Javon Ray at Georgia Southern, batting over 290. With a runner on second, they can do some major damage. And again, that's the tough part about this Party Animal lineup. When they get rocking, boy, they get rocking. Caden Green, Peanut, straight up and down like 6 o'clock, going over to Stephen Cullen, and the side is retired with just one run of damage done against Bradford Webb off the bat of Andy Cosgrove. But Jake Skoll already making his presence felt as he goes to first base on his first batting appearance back from maternity leave. He comes on in. Now let's look at the defense here for the Party Animals. Bryson Bloomer at third base. and Dustin Baber, at second base. These are two guys that can just fill up the trick plays. And again, they don't even have Chase Acuff back yet, who's still out with a broken shin at shortstop. He still leads Banana Ball in trick plays, but that's how dangerous this Party Animal lineup can be once you put him out on the field as well. Look to see if Reese Hampton can bounce back from a tough game one out in St. Louis where he missed a couple of trick plays out in center field. The starting pitcher is Garrett Delano. The Cowboy hat, short shorts, taking the mound here tonight. He is 9 strikeouts away from getting himself to 50 on the season. You look at those numbers, 64 innings pitched. They trust him with a lot of work in the black and pink. Started his career with Banana Ball in 2022. Leads the league now in games started. And has a chance to make the 50 strikeout milestone here in the next little bit. To the firefighter lineup we go. South Trimble is the man to watch tonight, batting leadoff for the second game in a row. The man who hails from Virginia Beach, Virginia, just 10 minutes down the road, went to Cox High School, which has produced some tremendous stars of Major League Baseball, like former World Series champion Chris Taylor. In fact, his brother Fenwick Trimble is in the Marlins minor league organizations right now, trying to make his major league dreams come true. But South told me today he's seen about 30 to 40 people already who have ties to Cox High School who have been rooting for him to make this an excellent homecoming for him. So South Trimble comes up. Dalton Cornett and Logan Lacey have certainly some pop to them. Dalton Cornett leading the Firefighters in home runs this year. We wait to hear the hometown reaction for South Trimble. Didn't start out the year because of an injury to his face, took a ball off the nose, had to start out really just trying to become a designated runner as he sends one into the stands, and that just hits the seats, so we will play on. The boy South Trimble already trying to get the hometown crowd to get him out with a fan-caught foul ball, and I do want to remind y'all, we are just 4 fan-caught foul balls away from breaking the World Tour record at 80 in significantly less games than we did last year. Maybe more to come on that in just a few minutes as Trimble fights that one away. Trimble starting to get more appearances. This is just his 9th plate appearance on the year after dealing with the injury. But last week in Salem looked awfully good. Had a double off the top of the wall that scored a couple of runs, a couple of trick plays in left field. Would like to get off to a better start than he is here, though. Baber comes back and behind the back. The luck of the Irish for Baber coming over from second base. That is his 85th trick play on the season. Yes, he is finally starting to catch up to his teammate Chase Acuff. Just needs 3 more to tie him at 88. But behind the back made it look so simple. Coming up now is Dalton Cornett. Last time the Party Animals played against the Firefighters, the former Party Animal in Cornett had himself a day, home run in a win over the boys in the black and the pink. 333 average is good enough to lead the whole team, and Dalton, not only well rested, has himself quite the tan as he just got back from a Hawaiian vacation as Swan somehow gets that, and Delano beats a sliding Cornett. Oh. Tighter play than maybe the Party Animals wanted, but Cornett just can't slide in time. That's a great play from Delano to get over there quickly. What a play here from Swan, too. That was a tough field over there, underhanded, and Delano gets there with just a smidge of time. So now the inning lies in the hands of Logan Lacey. He was the golden batter that got on base to help set up Noah Bridges' heroic home run back in Salem a couple of weekends ago. Hitting 250, would like to break out of a small little slump here, but he sends this one skying into shallow center. Sal Jacobo waving everybody off, and he just tip drills it to himself with the bare hand, and just like that, the Party Animals have themselves a 1-point lead off the bats of Jake Skoll and Andy Cosgrove. And a quick inning from Garrett Delano, making that one as simple as can be. And now we turn our attention back towards center field for the Firefighters. We just talked about Noah Bridges a couple of moments ago and his heroics back in Salem. 4 trick plays where he ran up against the wall, had the game-winning home run, 2-run shot, his first homer of the season. couple of hits on there. Finally, maybe starting to feel like he's back full-time in Banana Ball, and now it is our pleasure to welcome the center fielder running out there now. Noah, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir, I got you.
All right, brother, how you feeling out there right now?
Pretty good. It's not as hot as it was supposed to be, so I'm, blessed for that. But I will tell you what, it is loud right here at this speaker. I think this is the only speaker in the stadium, and you can probably hear it. It is blistering.
Oh, we are reverbing quite well, but hey, you know what? They give the toughest challenges to the toughest people here, Noah.
Yeah, no problem.
You've had a couple of weekends now to reflect on Salem. How do you now think about what Saturday night was like for you?
Man, Saturday night was just a blessing. It's been a little struggle coming back from playing after that injury. So just really good to be able to play to my potential. It's to me, that's how I should play every night. So and it was really big for the boys. The boys needed it. We've been grinding all year, trying to get something to fall our way, and that finally did. It was awesome.
That one right over to Liam Spence, just underhands that over to Stephen Cullen, a quick first out. Noah, not only last week or 2 weekends ago was huge because of the home run, but just getting the trick plays too seemed to really be something that you were focused on. How much of that factored into just feeling comfortable again, just being out there in the outfield and doing what you do so well?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, Jesse Cole talked to me the game before where I ripped 4 of them in that game, and he just let me know. He was like, man, just go for it. You got the talent. He believes in me, and that really just kind of helped me. Sometimes I try to do a little too much.
That one gets over to South Trimble in left field. Going for 2 and sliding on in. That's a great play. A great bit of base running from Bryson Bloomer, who runs straight on through.
Yeah, but going back to the trick plays, I actually, back in 2022, I actually invented the tip drill. So that was one that I ripped all the time. And it's an easier level one, but just getting back in the feel of it, ripping that as many times as I can.
I know you liked getting that one last week with South a couple of nights ago. Now, coming here into Norfolk, this is a huge opportunity for you guys. Last headlining stop here before you guys more go towards the major league sides of things. How important is this weekend to get something going in terms as we get a steal? Bloomer over to third. Lacey.
Easy.
Lets that one dribble through. Caden Green's got to catch up to it, but Bloomer is going to slide on home. Cornett can't tag him. And the Party Animals have a run for the second straight inning. That's a great bit of base running from Bryson Bloomer.
Yeah, I think Bloomer's leading the league in bags. You can see it right there.
Yeah, well, you see why there. So we get another run celebration here.
It's a little thing I like to do from the outfield. I like to rate the run steadily. So right now I got a thumbs up.
You got a thumbs up?
It's kind of getting a little sideways.
All right, we might need to get a number rating for you here.
Okay. I give it mediocre.
Give it a mediocre?
That's a sideways thumb. It's not all the way down.
You're going with a 5? You're going with a 5 or a 6
here? Yeah, 5 out of 6, yeah.
Logan Lacey did a heck of a job trying to catch back up to that one and keep it from going to the outfield, but Bloomer on his horse from second to third and now over to home. So we were talking about this, just having some confidence in trying to get a series win. We've had some splits over the last couple of weekends as we've been through the Commonwealth of Virginia, but how important is it to try and get a series win and get a couple where you can really bank on going into the latter part of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not exactly sure what you said, but I'm pretty sure.
That's all right. About, man, they're really trying to crank it up there for you, aren't they?
Dude, I mean, I think they knew I was coming out here with a mic and turning it up louder.
Is Luke at least giving you good music out there? Like,
yeah,
do you feel entertained?
Pretty good. I'm having a good time.
All right, we'll see if we can get some requests for you up here. Now, you wear your back plate says "Beware of Dog." Where does that come from? Oh, well, hold on.
Oh, yeah. I gotta catch it normal.
Oh, we were hoping for the trick play, but you know what? Let's haul it in. Oh, the sprinkler.
Yeah, this is a little celebration we like to do. Sprinkler.
I think that's everybody, too. I've seen Caden and Logan break that out at second and third, or excuse me, shortstop and third, but now you got it at center field.
Yeah. I couldn't see that ball off the bat at all right there.
Were you trying to go trick play and then just like, hey, let's just get out of it?
Yeah, I was thinking about ripping it. My feet were on the move. I could have gone under the legs there, but I didn't get to the ball in time. I'd rather not risk it, especially since they already got to run.
How quickly do you have to make that decision, Noah?
The more time I have to think, the more chance I mess it up. So usually if I just go in the flow state, rip out one, that's better. But yeah, the longer it's in the air, the more time I'm usually going to miss it.
Bradford Webb was in a flow state there, gets a strikeout. of Armando Becerra. Noah, thanks so much for joining us, man. Hopefully they will get you some good music out in center field tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate you, man.
Hey, I think I got my swagger back.
There you got your swagger back. That's Noah Bridges, folks. We thank him so much for tuning in, for miking us up here in center field. And now we come to you here in Virtual Firefighter Nation with a plea. See, fire alarm finally went off last weekend in Salem, Virginia. And boy, I think I had a little bit of a meltdown. I won't judge myself, but I was very excited. I hugged Brett Loftus until I started crying. But all we said last week was that the fans here in our firehouse would catch a foul ball. They did, very quickly, by the way. Tonight, I have a bigger challenge for you. A much bigger challenge. I said earlier, we're 4 fan-caught foul balls away from breaking a World Tour record across all 4 teams. We are the only banana ball game going on tonight, and I think Norfolk can do it. Now, 757 has produced some tremendous athletes throughout its history. You know the list, from Michael Vick down to Ryan Zimmerman, former World Series champion. But tonight, the fans can be our greatest athlete. If they catch 4 fan-caught foul balls, we put ourselves in the history books again. Like Richmond to start the Commonwealth Tour off when they caught 6 fan-caught foul balls in one game, we can catch 4 tonight, and we can put ourselves in World Tour history. That's our fire alarm tonight. If we catch 4 fan-caught foul balls, I want everybody in Virtual Firehouse land. I want you guys shaking your TVs. I want y'all going losing your minds. I thought I had a confetti blaster here. I think I left it at my apartment. I'll bring it tomorrow, I promise you. But we're going to go nuts. If we catch 4 foul balls tonight in Harbor Park, they're going to hear us all the way down in Savannah throughout that 7-hour drive. We say hello to Dakota McFadden going up against Garrett Delano. His firefighters very desperately need to get some sort of response here after giving up a pair of runs to begin the first and second innings here. You do not want to give the party animals much of an advantage in the points column. D-Mac right now can be the guy that can get the ship steadied here a little bit. 275 is his average. Of course, the veteran presence here, along with Matt Wolf, and he sends a screamer out to center field. Reese Hampton chasing back, and Hampton just catches up to it. That's a great play from Reese Lightning in center field. D-Mac thought he had himself a double. Right off the bats, going crazy towards the Elizabeth River. Now it's time to honor our firefighter of the night.
Escorting him to the plate is our firefighter of the night, Battalion Chief Stacy Hines. Stacy has served your community at the Norfolk Fire Department for 21 years. Fans, please make some noise for our firefighter of the night, Battalion Chief Stacy Hines.
So grateful to Battalion Chief Stacy Hines for everything she's done for this wonderful community in Norfolk. And we salute all of our firefighters across the 7 cities here in Hampton Roads and throughout our nation. Let's turn our attention now back to Garrett Delano, who has made quick work of the first 4 batters he's faced, and Liam Spence trying to break through. A little bit of a skid here as he sends one into shallow right field, and that will land for a base knock, and Liam Spence, the Aussie, is aboard. He's been trying to get through a tough little part of hitting here. He finally gets a knock to go, and he's excited over at first base. And hi, Joe Lytle with that beautiful mullet. Had himself the young professor monologue to start the game, and now we see if he can get himself onto the base pads and move Liam Spence into scoring position. The mullet shake plays on in the background. Lytle comes in, batting 170. He did have a couple of really crucial ball 4 steals last week in Salem, as that one will not reach the fans. It'll get beyond them and go into the parking lot. Right now you can see, maybe in the background, there's a little construction going around of Harbor Park. They're building casinos, they're building a hotel here as Lytle. That's a fast one, and that one will not get into the stands here at Harbor Park because there's netting all the way around. I believe this is the first park that we have gone to since we started the Firefighters headlining tour that has full-on netting across all of the baseline. So they're going to have to loft this one up a little bit here at Harbor Park. We'll say this is a very nice place to watch a baseball game or watch a banana ball game over the next couple of days, just overlooking the Elizabeth River. You're 20 minutes away from the beach as Lytle sends one screaming up towards us in the banners, but he'll stay alive. (9-1-1) versus 7-7-7, and Lytle gets sat back down as Delano gets him to wave at strike 3. It's the first K of the Cowboys night, but he has been tremendous all season long. Now has a chance to win a second point for the Party Animals as Stephen Cullen, who has also started to find his footing here over the last couple of weeks, and I really think he started to find his confidence once we went to Fenway Park. That was a lifelong dream for Stephen. Had a couple of big hits, then went to Salem and played very well. He skies this one over into foul territory, right up near the banners again, and that will land foul.
Baby.
Stephen at one point was batting less than or just about 100 on his average. Then we went to Fenway, and now all of a sudden he has pushed himself back up above 200. You can really see he's starting to find the confidence again as that is thrown over, and Liam Spence is tagged out. What a play from Delano. And that's how the inning ends. Caught him a little too far off the bag, and the Party Animals get a second point in this one. They lead it 2-0 very early on. Jason Swan with the tag, Delano with quick work. Just one base runner for the Firefighters thus far. Look at that, Spence saw it but just could not get back in time. Jason Swan do a little shimmy. Animals up 2-0. Let's go down to runs in the family.
We have the young ones starting at home. They're going to have to run all the way to first and spray their sibling with a water gun. Then they're going to have to go to second and spray their mom with a water gun. And then the moms are going to have to run all the way to third, grab a bucket of water and splash their husbands right in the face with that water. All right, families, on your marks, get set, go! All right, it looks like the St. Hilaire family is right in the lead, and it looks like the first spray is on the way. My little buddy's catching up, and it looks like the moms have been sprayed. They're running to third after those buckets. It's time, and your husbands are ready to get wet. Their wives are on their way. And the spray comes, and it looks like we have the St. Hilaire family as tonight's champion in runs in a family.
So on the one hand, you've ruined a nice shirt on a nice Thursday night, but on the other hand, it's very hot here in Norfolk, so I think that probably feels about as good as you could for that dude in the red. Bradford Webb back on the mound for his third inning of work here tonight. He'll go up against Sal Jacobo. He's gotten out of some very tricky situations, but no, he would like to get out of this one clean as the Firefighters already find themselves in a 2-0 hole. And again, this is the problem when you face the Party Animals. When they start partying, they don't stop. The bats keep on swinging. As Jacobo, that is a liner out to left field. South Trimble couldn't find it in the sun. It bounces off the track. He mishandles it, and Jacobo easily stands up at second. And on the first swing of the inning, Animals already got one in scoring position.
Damn.
And we're already back up to the top of the order as Sal Jacobo comes up with a crucial knock. That's a tough start there for South Trimble in the inning. Couldn't find it in the sun, which is directly behind us in the press box. You certainly can see why you might have had trouble with that one as Reese Lightning swings and misses on his first delivery from Bradford Webb, who's now going to have to get out of a jam quick, fast, and in a hurry. Checks on Jacobo at second. Throws it on in. Hampton's got 43 runs batted in, and that kid is in Matt Wolf's barrel. Wolf is trying to protect him over there. I mean, look at this. He's singing In Sync. Disappearing into Matt Wolf's barrel. Is this not the dream or what? That kid's got a perfect view, except for the fact that Wolf is standing like directly in front of his view of the diamond. For a second, he might have had to dive back into the barrel because that one went back over to the firefighter's dugout, but he will be protected and saved another day.
Banana.
Lightning swings and misses, and Hampton gets sat down as Bradford Webb has 3 Ks in 2 1/3. It's a big one for Webb, who still has a runner at second, trying to get out of this inning with little to no damage after surrendering runs in the first and second frame. That's maybe been the one bugaboo throughout Webb's 2025, is there's been a couple of extra runs scored where you know he doesn't want to give up the damage, but he might give up some here. Jacoba will actually hold up at third as Maxwell plays that one nicely, and there are runners at the corner with the most dangerous man in Banana Ball coming up, Jake Skoll, who had a single in his first appearance back from paternity leave. Now goes up for his second opportunity, scored the first run of the game, scored the first point of the game in the first frame. Already back up here in the third inning. He skies this one up into the Norfolk skies. Can the fans get to it? They will not. Skoll was here last year in Norfolk, had himself quite the series in the 7.57. Of course, that seems to have been
This guy, man.
a little bit of a sign to come here. He was, of course, a dangerous hitter throughout his baseball career, but has just turned it up another notch in 2025 as he skies that one into the press box, so we have no play on that. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Webb is just 1 out away from stranding a couple on the pads.
Damn.
That is a big one for Bradford Webb. As you see this, fooled him on the moving pitch. Skoll knew it too. 31st time he's been sat down on the K. And now Andy Cosgrove, who had the inning-winning double in the first frame, take his cracks trying to get another run across the board here. Went into the dirt, a nice play from Cornett, who's been going back and forth a little bit over the course of this Commonwealth Tour. He's played a little bit in left field, he's played a little bit of catcher, sometimes been the designated hitter, back at his natural catching position tonight. As Webb gets one in there for a 2-1. Cosgrove can be very dangerous at all different times. 40.2 runs created. That certainly went up in the first inning, but he swings and nearly hits his butt on the miss. 2-2, and Bradford Webb can taste getting out of this one with no damage. Runner going. Caden Green diving. Can he get the out at first? Cohen off the bag.
Safe.
And he's safe, and that will bring home Sal Jacobo. It was a great effort from Peanut over at shortstop, but the throw just a little off. Colin couldn't keep his foot stretched out, and for the third straight inning, the Animals have themselves a run. Noah Fisher made that awfully difficult too for Green. We see the replay because he stole second, or was on his way to second, taking the force out away at second base. That forced Green to have to go across the diamond, and that gives the Party Animals another run here in Norfolk. Swan lofted up. That's going into the dugout. And the firefighter actually in the dugout tried to catch it. Real life firefighter couldn't get to it. Our firefighter of the night actually trying to say she caught it off the bounce. You have to catch it cleanly here in Banana Ball. Green, he dove out again, perhaps saving a run, as that was certainly going to South Trimble. The bases are loaded, but that's a huge play again from Caden Green. Wasn't able to save the run on the last at bat. He does get at least an opportunity to save it here. But Tanner Thomas has a real big chance to blow this inning wide open. The former Virginia Tech standout coming back to the Commonwealth. Take his cuts. Tender grounded out in the second frame. But already back up here Right back up the middle, and that might bring home 2. Home is Fisher. Another run scores from Mark Smith, and that's a 2 RBI single for Tanner Thomas back here where he played his college baseball. A huge hit there. That makes it 3 runs here in the frame for the Party Animals, and the Firefighters are facing some deep trouble here. Could go down 3 points to none if they can't find some sort of response. As Thomas goes ahead and takes second away. There will be no force out. At second with runners now at second and third is Jason Swan. It's 90 feet away, right to Caden Green. That time there will not be a play to be made. Green makes the out, and the Firefighters are finally out of the jam. Here's Lexi Callahan with Bananas Foster.
Lexi Callahan.
Skip that.
Stan, they got work to do. We were talking about Cullen a little bit earlier and the confidence that he's starting to gain back up to a 200 batting average, but really found his confidence when we went to Fenway, accomplishing a dream. Hit 3 to 4 shots over the monster in batting practice, and that seemed to really kind of juice him up a little bit. Had a couple of crucial hits in Salem, some trick plays that induced some very important outs to keep the Texas Tailgaters off the board. Now he could really give them a jolt with one swing of the bat. Using the torpedo bat, and he torpedoes that one into left field, and Cullen is aboard with a base knock. Ron Franklin is the designated runner tonight for the Firefighters, and he will jump aboard as Cullen very quietly now has started to get the average up, started to get his numbers up. Again, he's got pop. If Cullen starts finding his footing, look out. Caden Green up to the plate, first pitch swinging. Can he get a first pitch hit? That is a major catch from Jake Skull. Communication, not a problem there as Reese Hampton and Skull going for the same ball. But Skull calls it off at the last second, and the X-Man able to avoid a little danger there. Look at that, Hampton very nearly had to take a shoulder tackle from a man who walked on the football team at Georgia. I'm not exactly sure that's the kind of guy you want to take a hit off of, but he sacrificed himself there for the out, but Skull ultimately coming away with it. Now it's time for Mason Maxwell to get his chances at the plate. Got himself a hit, needed one in Salem last week to break out of a little slump. Now tonight, comes in, might see a little bit more flair for the dramatics from Mason a little later. First homer of the season for the Firefighters out in Anaheim, and boy, they could use a big base knock from the big man out of Lenore Ryan. Delano only given up a pair of base runners so far in the inning, and Ron Franklin, after watching Liam Spence get picked off, gonna have to, well, hello. The Gangnam Style out here at Harbor Park, and he hit that thing beautifully. And is that another pickoff? Not at first, but they will get the pickle there. Franklin tagged out, and for the second inning in a row, the Firefighters base running is gonna cost them.
Wow.
They went from having a runner on first with nobody gone
The fact they got up, though.
to Jason Swan being able to do whatever he wanted to, chasing down Ron Franklin. And there are 2 away, and Delano has a chance to go back into his dugout with a 3-0 lead. It has been tough sledding here for the gentleman clad in the red and orange. But Mr. Delano, right now you can categorize this as shoving, and he strikes out his second batter of the game. Ends the third inning with a scream and a fist pump. And just like that, the Party Animals are up a trio of points. It's now time to say hello to Javon Ray and Caden Green, but well, I think they might be playing a little bit of a different role here down the first base line. Hello, fans here in Norfolk. We're all having a great time. Thursday nighter, got a 3-game set. And now, we never say never here in Banana Land.
Here we go. Yes, who? Jay Smith and JB. I got you, little bro. I can handle him. Hold up. I can handle him. Now he's bigger than me, taller than me, and he's older than me, and stronger than me, and his arms a little bit longer than me. But he ain't on a JB song with me. I be trying to chill, they be trying to side with the thrill. No pun intended, was raised by the power of will. Like Luke with the horse, if push comes to shove, like Kobe in the force, ice water, let's go. Try to be the best, and yes, with the flyers, like David and Goliath, I conquered the giant. So now I got the world in my hand. I was born from 2 stars, so the moon was where I land. I will never say never, never say never. I will fight till forever.
Good test.